everybody, my name is Jackie. I'm one of the designers here with Unique in the Creek. And today I'm going to show you how to make a corner swag on the new big metal door pane signs, window pane signs. And we're going to make it on the opposite side. We're going to go along the top side. So let's talk about the materials you need first. To do the two corner swags, you'll need 4 rectangle boards, 2 for top, 2 for bottom. You're going to need 1 roll of the frayed edge mesh. You're going to need a total of 20 pipe cleaners, 10 for the top, 10 for the bottom. You're going to need some zip ties, a total of 6, 3 for the bottom, 3 for the top. You're going to need some ribbon of choice. And these are the florals that I chose. I just grabbed a big, really pretty bundle of flowers that I really liked. And then I grabbed these pumpkins. Now you can get pumpkins and florals and stuff at Unique in the Creek when you're ordering your rectangle board and signs, so don't forget to get those. And then also I got some kind of weed looking grass that we're going to add in. Okay? The tools that you will need. You're going to need a metal hole punch, or you're going to need a drill with a diamond head drill bit to make the holes. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need wire cutters, and you're going to need something to mark with. All right. Pay attention. I might have forgot something. All right, but let's get started. So first things first, we're going to turn our rectangle boards into an L shape. So we're going to completely overlap them on a right angle. Okay, and on the right angle, you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. We're going to put a zip tie here, here, here. So we're going to come up through the bottom and just loosely tighten it at the moment while you're putting your zip ties in. It just makes it easier. And then once we get all of them in, we'll tighten it up. And then what we're going to do is hold our boards where it's supposed to go. And then start tightening our 3 zip ties. Now I am intentionally leaving my zip tie to the outside because once I put this on the bottom, I don't want it warping or anything like that. So I'm making sure that my closure is toward the outside of the board. And then we're going to take our wire cutters and go cut. And now we've made our L shape. Okay, so now that we've made our L shape, we want to mark on our sign where we want to put our holes. So I'm going to bring my sign here, and we're going to go toward the outside. Now what I'm using is there's a top edge here where it kind of bends. So I'm going to lay my board up to that and use that as my guideline to where I want my board to sit. And then I'm going to hold that there. And I'm going to mark here on row J, and then row I, and then we're going to mark row E and D. And then we're going to come around here and do the same thing. D, E, I, and J. And now we're going to take our middle hole punch. And it's super easy. And we're going to go right where we marked. Now, the only downside to using the hole punch is the zip ties don't fit through the holes. So if you really want to use zip ties, you're going to need to use a drill bit. And the drill bit needs to be a diamond bit that will go through metal. Now to secure this, we're going to use 4 pipe cleaners. And we're going to go through our board. And then we're going to come up through the holes we punched. I'm holding my board up. That makes it a little bit easier to get the pipe cleaners through the hole. And now we're ready to twist these down tight and secure our rectangles to our sign. So I'm going to pull that real tight and then twist, 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 twist. And I'm going to twist this quite a few times. And then if you want to make sure that it doesn't come undone, it makes you feel better, what you can do is dab a little hot glue on your pipe cleaner and twist it like so to make sure it doesn't come undone. Okay, and now all we want to do is cut the excess off and get it out of the way. And just like when you use zip ties, if you want to cut this off and redesign it later, all you have to do is cut the pipe cleaner off on the back. Alright, so we need to put 2 of our pipe cleaners together, and that's going to leave 4 left, but 2 of them we have to put together because we're going to go from this hole to this hole, and it's going to take 2 pipe cleaners to bridge the gap. Now, if you want to, for this next part, you can use zip ties, and it'll be really simple. Now, because we're going so far across here with the pipe cleaner, I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue underneath it to make it more stable and get it to snug onto the board a bit. Like I said, if you want to, for the next part, you can use you can use zip ties. Now, if you don't use good hand strength, just use the whole pipe cleaner. And so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to use the whole pipe cleaner because it makes it easier for you to see what my hands are doing. But you really only need half the pipe cleaner. And so what we're going to do, we're going to load our board every other hole. And we're going to load on the outside. I hate to flip this over, but I'm going to have to, and I'll hold it up to load it. Okay, so when we tie our pipe cleaners down or you use zip ties, you want to go toward the middle of the board. So that's why I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to twist it over the middle hole because I kind of want my stuff to be in the middle. So I'm going to twist it over the hole. I'm pulling it toward the hole and I'm going to make my twist at the hole. And that's because I want my mesh and stuff to basically be going down the middle of the board. And we're going to do the same thing. Notice I kind of hold the one pipe cleaner and then I twist. That helps put it where I want it. I'm going to hold that one straight down and then start my twist. Okay, because we're using frayed edge mesh, we don't care about the fray. We're going to go with it when we do our ruffles. And you're going to see as this goes on, it looks so pretty. Like, even starting out, this looks so pretty. So, like, if you just wanted to put this on, it's pretty. You'll see. So, I cut my mesh 20 inches long. Like I said, you're going to need a total of 18 pieces of mesh, 9 at the top and 9 at the bottom. And yes, I want it to curl up because I want that frayed edge to turn up. I don't want it to flatten out. And I'm not overlapping my mesh this time. I'm pulling my ruffles up because I want that frayed mesh to really fluff out. I love this mesh. It's so good for fall wreaths and farmhouse wreaths. It definitely gives that hay effect. And we're just going to keep going around the edge. And I have a little piece that was left over. And since this corner's so wide, I'm just going to like stick it in the corner. Here, that's why I'm grabbing it. So I'm just going to ruffle it up. And then grab this piece and ruffle it along. We're embracing the fray on this project. And this is actually a quick little project. And it really doesn't take much materials. And you can get all the materials you need for this at the Unique in the Creek website. All right. So first we're going to put our foliage branches in. And we're going to leave them whole, except for we're going to cut off right underneath both stems. Because all we're going to do is we're going to take our pipe cleaners and tie that in. So I'm pulling my stem up, and I'm going to decide how high I want it first. And I don't really want it sticking out too far past the mesh. So this is where I'm going to go. And I'm going to tie it in with my pipe cleaners. And now we're going to take the bottom, and we're going to do the same thing on the bottom, tie it in with our pipe cleaners. Now, when I was doing the top side on this, the bottom side on this one, I thought this was really cute, even just to stop at this point, just with the foliage. Once I got it all kind of situated in there. Now with these two pieces crisscross, instead of using the pipe cleaner to secure them together for a reason, okay, we already have enough pipe cleaner securing them together. Okay, we're just going to use a zip tie and crisscross it over to secure these two in place. And if you really want to, you can come up underneath the corner here and feed your zip tie up through the corner and grab it to secure it. If you're really worried about it going anywhere, okay? And that piece is a little bit long, so I'm going to cut that off a little bit further. Okay. See, I even liked how that looked. Just putting this in after I fluff that out. Look, doesn't that look good? All right. So next up, I took my flowers, and I was lucky when I picked these out. These came from the Ribbon Shed. It's a vendor. They do ship, and they sell Unique in the Creek boards. So I was very fortunate that they had this bush, and it had several flowers on it. And I cut 3 connecting stems. It has 3 to make this super easy. Okay. And we're going to come backwards with this. Once again, I don't want my flowers coming out too far. And all I have to do is tie down 1 stem to secure my flowers in. The other two are going to kind of roam free. And then the bottom of my stem, I'm going to bring in my next stem first and lay it over it. And then tie and secure that in. And see, even with just the florals, it still looks really nice. And we're going to come down this side and we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to add our florals first. And then as I go, I'm going to tie in my next stem, fluffing my leaves on the way as I go. And you can go back if you want to and I'm going to pull some of the mesh kind of back up where I kind of flattened it and pull it through a little bit to kind of keep that hay look going. Now see how that looks with just the florals and whatnot? Now, my friends, if you want to stop right here, I'm going to give you a suggestion for those of you that may not know how to make a bow, don't want to use ribbon like the way it looks, but we don't like this right here. We're going to cover it. Just simply get yourself a pumpkin and put a pumpkin right here in the corner to cover it up. All right. For those that want to stop right there because they like the way it looks with just the foliage, just get yourself a pumpkin and cover it up. All right. All right. To go the step further with the ribbon, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our ribbon tails. And we're going to pull both of those at a time. I'm going to dovetail my ribbon first. Decide how long you want your ribbon tail. I want mine about to the end. And then I'm going to pinch and I'm going to twist tie that in to my pipe cleaner. Now this is the point where we're done with the pipe cleaners. And if you want to start clipping them, this is when you start clipping them. Okay? So next up, we're going to pull a little length of ribbon. And we're going to gently do what I call like a ribbon bump. And you got to be really gentle. You kind of want to curve this up. You don't want to pull it straight. You want to curve this up. And there's a pipe cleaner here. We're going to skip past that one and go to the next one. Okay? And we want our bump to stand about as tall as our flowers. And then we're going to do one more into our pipe cleaner. We're going to skip this pipe cleaner and come down to this last one. And now you want to pull your ribbon apart. I'd like to make mine stagger in color. And now we're going to just simply turn the corner and go down, repeating the process over again. We're going to skip that pipe cleaner and go to the next one, make our little bump. And then I'm going to pull these direct opposite so that both my ribbons will show at the corner. And then once again, go to the very end, my last pipe cleaner on the board. And that's going to put our ribbon tails in. And then the last thing that we're going to do is make our bow. And I'm going to use a bow maker. Well, it's not the last thing we're going to do. I forgot about our pumpkins. We're going to make our bow and then we'll add our pumpkins. And we're going to start with our striped ribbon on the bottom as our first ribbon. And we're going to use a zip tie to bring our ribbon together instead of a pipe cleaner. So I'm going to make my tail about 7 inches. And then I'm going to make my loops at about 5 inches. And we're going to do 4 of them out of this striped ribbon. So you want to pinch and twist. I don't think that's going to be loopy enough for me, friends. We're going to go 6 inches. All right, we're going to go 6 inches, 4 loops. And then we're going to take our green ribbon and we're going to do our moss green ribbon and we're going to do 4 loops of it as well. Going to make my tail the same length. And I'm going to make my loop just slightly shorter, not much. probably about 1/4 inch. After I measure, I'm going to do my pinch and twist and then put it down my peg. Do the same thing on the other side. Measure, pinch, and twist. I just like to do it this way because I think it gets a better twist on the ribbon. And then to finish our bow off, we're going to come back to the stripe and we're going to do 3-inch, or we're going to do 3 loops. Now it did take me, because I used my stripe as my dominant ribbon, it took me about a whole roll to do this. Like I said, that's my dominant ribbon. I got about 1/4 roll of the green left. Let me grab my zip tie and get ready. So we're going to cinch our bow together with a zip tie. So be careful bringing your bow out. Make sure you've got a good hold on it. Take your zip tie, go around your bow. And cut the excess off. And then what we're going to do to secure our bow in is we're going to use the pipe cleaner that's already in the wreath. And that'll keep our back all nice and clean. All right, so let's pull our tails down first and out of the way. And then start from the bottom, pulling your loops apart. I pull them drastically apart. I really muscle my ribbon. I show it who's boss. I'm going to bring this one tail back up here. Just to kind of cover the gap in the middle. So I'm going to cut this down at about the length of my loops. And then my ribbon tails, I'm going to kind of round them up quite a bit. And now, last but certainly not least, we're going to add in the pumpkins. Okay? And we're going to make this really easy. So you want to take your wire cutters, and we're going to cut and leave about a 2-inch stem. And just trust me, like I got these at Walmart, but at Unique in the Creek, they sell a stem that's a whole lot better than this. And I think it's more of a velvet pumpkin. But I got the sign. I was impatient. Didn't want to wait for supplies, and I really wanted to do the tutorial. All right, so we have a lot of greenery and everything in our wreath, so we don't really need to zip tie these in. We have enough stuff to hot glue these in, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And there's one small one, so I'm going to make sure I use it first on the end. And what we're going to do, and this is going to help your ribbon stay apart too, we're going to spread our ribbon apart, and we're going to take our stem, and we're going to get liberal with the hot glue, my friends. And we want the head of the pumpkin to sit right there. So that's what we're aiming for, and we're just going to tilt that in there. Like I said, where we put that's going to help our ribbon stay apart as well. And we're going to do that one more time up here. Pull our ribbon apart first. Then we're going to bring in one of our bigger pumpkins. Push that in there and fix my ribbon back. And just 2 more times, my friends. So I'm really cramming my pumpkin into the mesh and breaking it to make sure that my pumpkin's really secured in there. By the way, if you ever drip hot glue on ribbon like I just did, wait till it cools down, then pick it off. So otherwise it'll just be a big mess. Okay, so now we just want to go back and make sure that all of our pretties are showing. So I'm going to fluff some of these up. There was no point in doing it while I was making the wreath because we were smashing. So now we're fluffing. And I'm waiting for that spot of glue to cool down. Pull these up to give them life, my friends. Pull some of our weeds back up so they'll show. They kind of got a little bit smashed in the process. And now I'm going to come back after that dollop of glue. So wait till it cools down before you come after it. And it'll pretty much so come right off as long as you don't touch it till it cools down. And last, but certainly not least, you're probably wondering how we're going to hang this. On the back, and I'll show you in a second, on the back, there is a hanger, and that's what we're going to use to hang it. And I'm going to use a heavier duty zip tie to hang it with. And just like so. And because we put the swag at the top and bottom, it is balanced. Isn't that beautiful, y'all? Look at that. Thank you for joining me, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this. I can't wait to see the ones that you make. Don't worry, I'm going to be making more of these. I'll be making Christmas ones as well. So stay tuned. Those will be coming. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Bye, y'all.